Setting your trading goals and how to go about achieving them. Hi, it's Charlie giving you Saturday's video. I hope you're very well. As you can see, I'm actually recording this earlier in the week. I've just got a New Zealand dollar up at the moment, so as I'm away this for a few days now. When it comes to setting trading goals, I'm a bit controversial in that I say don't do it, and then I backtrack a little bit. So what I mean by that is if you say, right, I want to make 5% a month, and if you set that type of trading goal, so we're starting off with this, and we're going to move on. We've got lots to go through in today's video. If you start off by saying, I want to achieve this, or whatever the amount is, 10% a month or whatever, you are setting yourself up for failure, because not that you can't achieve this or this, but in trading, it's not the same as a job. You do not make gains in a regular manner the way that you would have a paycheck. You might have 1 month where you might make a given amount, and another month it will be lower, and so on and so forth. So that's what I mean by that. So if you said, right, okay, I want to make, for argument's sake, 10% a month, well, that's 120% a year. That's a very good return, which is achievable in trading for an individual trader. But it doesn't matter whether it's 10% a month or 3% a month. Whatever your trading goal is, if you put that down as a goal, I'm going to backtrack on this in a little bit, but if you have that as your goal, you're setting yourself up for, well, what happens if on that month where let's say your goal is 3% a month and you only make 1%? Are you going to be feeling disappointment? Are you going to be feeling like, oh, I've missed my goal, I've now got to make 5% next month to be making up for the lack of performance this month? What it actually does is it puts your focus on the wrong things. It's putting all your focus is on the money and on the returns. Whereas really within trading, your focus has to be on being the very, very best trader that you can be. And that's what we're going to move on to within this. So by all means, have an overall trading goal, because I think it's good anyway in life to have goals to aspire to. But if your goal is to say 3% a month, well, just annualize it and say, well, my goal is to make let's just say 36% a year without compounding. So let's just say 36, or let's say 40% in a year. So you've got 40%, let's just say that as a goal. But also recognize that some years you might make that, some years you might exceed it, and some years you might not make that. So at least you're allowing yourself some flexibility, because otherwise, this is a hard and fast rule that you have. Again, what happens if you only made 25%? Are you going to be disappointed? So I think you need to give yourself that flexibility to have an overall goal, whatever the goal is, whether it's 40% or 240%. It doesn't really matter what your goal is, but you have to allow some flexibility. So yeah, put it down, but then try and put it to the back of your mind, because in reality, if all your focus is on that, then your focus is not on the right things, as I've already said, which is following your processes. So what we can do to give you some ideas on setting up these process goals is that we really need to think about trading in terms of the controllables and the uncontrollables. Okay, we got controllables here. So these are the things that are really important to us. Uncontrollables are that performance, for example. It doesn't matter how much we want to make that 40% or 240%. It's in a way it's outside of our control. It's not. We cannot possibly control precisely how much money we're going to make. Right. We can't control what the markets are going to do. We can't control whether the markets are going to behave in a way that doesn't suit our strategy for a period or our approach. We cannot control what geopolitical events there might be, and so on and so forth. So all we can do is focus on the things that are within our remit, and then be the very, very best that we can be at following our controllables. So for example, one controllable, which is a very obvious one, would be to make sure that we follow our correct risk management. So whatever your risk management approach is, so it could be that you only risk a given percentage per trade. So if that's the case, so let's say you risk, for argument's sake, 1% maximum risk per trade, make sure you trade within that 1%. You don't go over that 1% risk management. That is something that's within your control, and you don't have to go and risk 2%, 3%, whatever. That is well within your control there. Another one, logging your trades. So logging all your trades, that is a controllable. Logging, diarizing your trades, because if you log your trades, then you can do regular reviews of all of your trading rather than focusing on your account and what your account is showing at the end of the month or the end of the week. You're ultimately, the performance that's on our account is important to us, but we have to log our trades, because there's going to be some trades, if we have an underperforming month, there's going to be some trades that might have just stopped us out, but actually there was nothing wrong with the trade and it went up to hit our target in the end. So, and there could be some trades that got really close to our target and just rolled over. So that would suggest, from going back and reviewing, that actually your trading processes are good. It's just you were a bit unlucky on that particular month on a couple of trades, and in another month they would have worked for you. So logging trades is so important, but not just for the purposes of logging trades, but for the purposes of reviewing them, and you must do regular reviews. Morning preparation. So especially if this is more so morning prep, if you are a day trader, so you might do some morning prep, which would be morning analysis. You might be doing that if you're a swing trader as well. So that morning prep and analysis is going to be really important. All of these things are within your control. So before you've even done anything, you've already done your prep. You've done your market review, and you've built a picture for the day ahead if you're a day trader, or you've done your overall analysis if you're a swing trader. Within that morning prep, there might be things like visualization exercises that you might do as well. Also within your controllables would be things like backtesting. Now, if you're trading in a mechanical approach, even if you're not trading in a mechanical approach, it could be a semi-mechanical approach. You still might well be needing to do some back testing of the setups and strategies that you're employing. So again, that's something which is within your control. All of this is about becoming the best trader that you can be. Your wellness, all of these, your overall wellness. If you're drinking copious amounts of alcohol every night, is that going to help you with your overall health and your diet? In which case that could impact on your trading. So that's an important one as well. What else is in your controllables would be following your rules. So if you've got a set of rules, following rules. Sorry, I'm using my mouse to write with here. So following your rules. So you've got to make sure that you follow the rules and your overall trading plan to the best of your ability. So if your trading plan, even on a given individual trade, is to hold that trade to a given level, well, you've got to try and stay with that trading plan and hold it to that given level that you've predetermined from your analysis that you've undertaken. So follow the rules, follow the trading plan is really important. If you start jumping out of trades because of all sorts of different reasons, that's not good. You get into a trade at the beginning because either you are following a mechanical strategy, or that you are discretionary trading using technical analysis, fundamental analysis, whatever it might be. You've come up with an entire piece of analysis or you have a strategy which says to you, you manage the trade in a given way, will stay with that. All of these things come back down to self-discipline as well, of course. Self-discipline comes into a lot of that. Discipline. There you go. You can see I'm using a mouse. And yes, before anyone says, Charlie, why don't you use one of these pens? I've tried to use a pen before, and that didn't work either very well. So anyway, self-discipline is an important one as well. So sticking to the plan, the rules during the trade. There's all of this stuff that's really, really important that you can have full control of. Right away down to self-monitoring, self-analysis as well. So coming back to the question that came up, someone asked me to do a video on setting up your process goals. Well, here's some ideas about the sorts of processes that you need to be looking at in your entire trading, from your self-discipline to making sure that you follow your trading plan or your rules, to your overall wellness, everything, your analysis, logging of trades, reviewing trades, risk management. All of these are within your control. If you can stay on top of these, the profits will take care of themselves. It doesn't guarantee that every trade is going to be a winner. Of course it doesn't. You're still going to have winners and losers. But what it does say is that if you stick to your overall plans, and if you have a given approach, then you're putting yourself in a much, much better position to get to those overall goals that you're searching for. Hopefully that gives you some food for thought for this week. I see it's a slightly longer video than normal, and have a wonderful weekend, and I'll be back in touch next week.